Our teams have continued the search and recovery as we work as hard as ever on the collapse to recover remains and to bring closure to the families who are still waiting. We've now moved over 18 million pounds of concrete and debris, and 892 trucks have come through the site transporting the debris. And although the sun is shining right now, we can anticipate similar weather patterns to what we had yesterday. We'll continue to monitor the weather with our weather service liaison who is embedded on the site to monitor, and of course, if weather causes a pause, we'll have to pause. As you've seen, the heavy rain we've experienced brings its own challenges, and as a result, our Miami-Dade Water and Sewer Department has been very active on the scene, working alongside our fire rescue team. They've been pumping water out of the lower levels of the collapsed site in the afternoon and evening, and this truly shows that this is a whole of government response. We have so many local, state, and federal resources working in close collaboration right here in Surfside, and I'm especially proud of the way in which so many of our county departments have stepped up to support the operation. Through the ongoing search and recovery efforts, our teams have recovered an additional victim. The number of confirmed deaths is now 95. 85 of these victims have been identified, and 85 next of kin have been notified. At this step in the recovery process, we're relying heavily on the work of the medical examiner's office. It's a scientific, methodical process to identify human remains. As we've said, this work is becoming more difficult with the passage of time, and although our teams are working as hard as they can, it takes time. Our Miami-Dade Police Department detectives have continued to make progress on the ongoing audit of the list as we've worked to verify all reports submitted and identify those who have been recovered, and as a result we have some updated numbers to share. 238 people are now accounted for, and 14 people potentially unaccounted for. I want to stress again, as we've done throughout, that this is truly fluid, and we can only account for a missing person who may be deceased once the identification is made, in this case now through the medical examiner's office. And so that list of 14 includes 12 where missing persons reports have been filed with the police department, and 2 other reports that our detectives are continuing to try to verify. The property and evidence section of our police department is also on site. They have been working around the clock as well, and they are ensuring that all recovered personal property and family heirlooms are treated with the utmost respect, with great consideration for faith traditions, and when we recover items of religious significance, we make special note. This is a top priority for our teams and our religious leaders. They are embedded as well on the site. They're an integral part of the process and have been since the beginning. NIST, the National Institute of Standards and Technology, has now collected over 450 samples. They're working closely with our Miami-Dade County GIS team, Miami-Dade Fire Rescue, the police department, and the USAR teams, and they are, and with the state attorney's office, and they are tracking and tagging all of the pieces that they collect. The Family Assistance Center has served just yesterday 22 additional families, and we have so far supported 213 unique families at the Family Assistance Center. The Small Business Administration has received 77 total applications. That's 30 home loans, 16 business loans, and 31 economic injury loans. And we continue to urge businesses that have had an impact to visit sba.gov/disaster to learn more and apply for relief. So many local businesses have gone above and beyond to help feed the families and the first responders over the past few weeks, And I urge our community to give back to those businesses that have contributed so much by supporting them in their businesses. 20 days after this unthinkable tragedy, I could not be prouder of the extraordinary efforts of our partners at every level. Our local, our state, our federal partners, they've stepped up in so many ways to respond, and they have been the core for the family's recovery. They've continued to provide care to the families and the survivors, and I especially want to thank the men and women of the USAR teams from Miami-Dade, the City of Miami, the City of Miami Beach, Coral Gables, and they have and our state and national and international teams. They have given from their heart and soul, and they have risked their own lives for the search and rescue and search and recovery mission for nearly 3 weeks. We truly are walking among superheroes. I also want to extend my thanks to all of you, members of the media. You've continued to tell this story, and you've done it with compassion, and you've done it with real concern and care. And you've helped to make sure that the stories of those we've lost will never be forgotten. Thank you. Thank you so very much. So God bless all of us, all of you, and keep all of the first responders and the families and survivors in your hearts. Thank you.